The Dr. Aphra comic recently introduced a new weapon to the universe called the Farkiller of oo'ob the Apostate. By my count, it's the third projectile weapon we've seen that's been powered by lightsaber technology. Today I wanted to talk about those weapons and their place in the Jedi Order. Our first introduction to the idea was Ezra Bridger's lightsaber pistol in Star Wars Rebels. The pistol part of the weapon sounds like it was powered by the kyber crystal of the lightsaber, but since it wasn't encased within the focusing field that created the lightsaber blade, the bolts fired from it were very weak. Ezra's lightsaber pistol fired stun blasts, similar to the slingshot type weapon he had at the very start of the show. He created the design so he could better defend himself while he learned how to wield a lightsaber, since he was more familiar with projectile weapons at that point. But let's move on to something a little more dangerous. Charles Soule's Darth Vader introduced us to the Lightsaber Rifle. When Jocasta Nu infiltrated the Jedi archives after Order 66, she was confronted by Vader himself. Barely able to hold her own, she retrieved the rifle from the formerly locked-off forbidden areas of the archives. It allowed a lightsaber to be loaded into it, using the kyber crystal inside to generate an incredibly powerful and destructive beam of energy. Unfortunately, the weapon was unstable, and after too many shots, the lightsaber inside would begin to melt. It was destroyed when Jocasta set it to self-destruct and then threw it at Vader. And for our third lightsaber projectile weapon, let's talk about that most recent addition, the Farkiller. Aphra describes it as a magnification attenuator, or more simply, lightsaber tech used in a sniper rifle. Its creator, Gigoran Jedi oo'ob the Apostate, was able to take out targets from 100 clicks away with it. The Jedi Order excommunicated him for creating it, which makes sense, because a sniper rifle feels like the kind of weapon no Jedi should ever use. Killing enemies impersonally at a distance using the technology of a different weapon that you built that was originally meant to make you a guardian of peace and justice, that sounds antithetical to the Jedi. As cool as I think the Farkiller and the lightsaber rifle are in theory, I think they go against what the Jedi Order should stand for, so I think it's good story-wise that oo'ob was listed as excommunicated for creating the Farkiller, and it makes sense that the rifle used by Jocasta Nu would be locked away in a forbidden area of the temple, although it's curious that it has the symbol for the Jedi Order printed right on its side. Lightsabers are weapons themselves, yes, but they can be used much more readily in acts of self-defense. Both the Farkiller and the lightsaber rifle seem like they were made to kill, and that's it. Ezra's lightsaber pistol gets a pass because they fire stun bolts. That seems much more in line with Jedi ideals, especially for a young trainee who has no idea what he's doing with a melee weapon. I wouldn't mind seeing more of these lightsaber projectile weapons, but I think it would be cool to see them in the hands of the Sith. If the Jedi are making weapons like these, what would the Sith create? I guess they were bigger on super weapons, but I think they could make some pretty destructive smaller-scale kyber technology as well, and they would have no qualms doing it. What kind of weapons do you think a Sith would make? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.